Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. Last time we got our microverse projector room planned out. I've been doing some more building and touch-ups around the base as well, so I'll show you that to begin with. In this blast furnace room, I cleaned it up a little bit, put more facades on the ones that are finished, on the PAs, and yeah, added a ceiling here. And then there's some more corridors down here I finished, just miscellaneous things that needed finished up. Yeah, so these corridors in here that lead from the draconic energy ball upstairs, these are all finished off now. Added some walls in here. Just things really all over the place. This part of the base though needs some love, but yeah, we'll get to it eventually. I added a couple more processing arrays here, like one for dilithium. I think I only had the dust before, but I added this one as an autoclave. I added in the wetware and the stem cell production here. That was downstairs before, but that's been moved up. Same with the dense hydrogen. That was downstairs. But with all those PAs, in fact, I have this stem cell one, I think. No, it's the wetware board one. I have this with a max energy input. And so because of that, I realised we were running out of power. I think we were at maybe negative 1,000, or I mean negative 1,000,000 RF a tick in our reactor ball here. We're now up to plus 36 million. That's because I doubled up our production and added another 12 of these Naquada reactors. Again, these are just going to be temporary until we make Creative RF. And I think Creative RF is something we're going to go for today. I don't think we're too far away from it. I've also moved a couple more processes from downstairs as well. There's just a few things left. It's mostly just full drawers and then the microverse projectors, which I'm still to move upstairs. And in fact, I've got a plan for the full drawers, and that was to stick them in this space here, just to have them on the network, just in case we needed any of the dusts. It's better than voiding them anyway, so I think I'm going to move all of the drawers over here. Let's not forget to pack in tape before I break them and crash the game. Okay, so I've moved every random drawer into this room now and just put a storage bus on there, just so that we have access to the ME system. I ended up actually adding an extra area here as well, since one wasn't enough apparently. So yeah, there's a bunch of random stuff in here, but some of these things like we have hundreds of thousands of, so I didn't really want to throw them out, although most of it we'll probably never use anyway. But yeah, that frees up a lot of space. I even managed to get rid of the DML stuff. So all that remains now on these lines are the microverse projectors. That can get taken down, in fact. But yeah, in between episodes, I also converted our tree farm over to oak. This is so that we can get apples, and we need apples for the upgrades for extra utilities, these ones here. We're going to need these a bit later on, so I just swapped over now, and yeah, we're at a couple thousand apples by now. Also, since upgrading our power, I switched off this reactor, and the lag around this reactor has gotten a lot better. Not that it was that bad to begin with, but I could feel it. I could start to feel a difference with this base getting a lot bigger, and that seemed to have helped it quite a lot. So this reactor is now off and can probably get torn down along with these other two. Also, between episodes, I did go ahead and passive the tier 1 microminer. So we are now passively crafting tier 1s, and I also made a start in the tier 2s, which meant adding all of these MV components. And this took quite a lot of extra machines as well. You might notice some extra changes. I don't exactly know what I've shown before and what not, because there's just, I add these things like it's nothing. I have so many machines here now. And yeah, with that little recap out of the way, let's move on to the Creative RF source. So this is the recipe here. We're going to be working on this today. First of all, I think since this is extended craft, I think we should upgrade our extended crafting area to add more crafters and unpackagers. So let's maybe just start off with that, and then we'll encode the recipe and see what we're missing, and yeah, take it from there. So our extended crafting room here, we're going to have 6 of each of these setups, these little star setups for each of the different tier of tables. And I've made enough, I think, to upgrade the rest of these. And I think I'll probably just copy the recipe for all of these. I don't know if we'll have enough recipe slots though, is the problem, but it's easy enough to change later on anyway. Yeah, so we put on packager and then just surround that with all the crafters. Okay, all the crafters have now been upgraded. I left the tops off just so that we can access this unpackager to put in the recipe encoders. Yeah, so let's start by just encoding the recipe for the Creative RF. In fact, we can get rid of this recipe. We don't need this motive omnium anymore. And we'll replace it with this. Make sure we set it to ultimate crafting mode. So let's see what we're missing here. Oh, I was going to say, that doesn't seem like very much, but yeah, we're missing the 4 ultimate generators, which is the biggest craft. And then obviously 1 infinity catalyst and draconic energy cores. I think the draconic energy cores is just because I took out the recipe. I wonder, is this something we want to passive? Possibly. Yeah, maybe we'll passive these, I don't actually know yet. But for now, we'll do it on demand. I'll put the recipe back in the fusion crafters for that. And let's add the recipe also for the ultimate generator, because that's the real work in getting this Creative RF, is these things. So actually I'm going to go back to the terminal so that I can use the pin feature in JEI. So when we request Creative RF, we're only 12 chaos shards short, which is decent. All of the rest we have, it looks like, up to where? I assume the rainbow generators? Yeah, all of the generators. Oh, great. This is going to be a lot of recipe encoding. Alright, let's just pin everything. And I'll go down the list one by one. I'm not going to, like, show everything because it's going to be, like, just putting in so many recipes. But if there's any bumps in the road, I'll come back and we'll tackle those. But I suspect everything here won't be an issue. It's just a matter of encoding them. Alright, that's a lot of things to do. Let me go and make a start on this. So after teaching our ME system a whole lot of recipes here, I run into some very interesting things. And so yeah, let me show you those. So when we try to request this Creative RF source now, there is actually a lot more chaos shard requirement than I first anticipated. And that's because we were missing a few recipes. There's actually 156 chaos shards per Creative RF. So that is the first thing that has to be addressed. Wait, iron dust? Why does it want iron dust? So Gravistar is the first one. I'll have to add an autoclave for this. I think I'm going to do this in PAs though. So I'll add a processing array for this. But yeah, thankfully the majority of the stuff we have, or we had the processing infrastructure to just drop recipes in. There's a couple of things though, like pink dye is something I didn't expect to run into. Ice. Seeds, grains of infinity, and then, well, emeradic, we're just going to batch craft that, but yeah, apparently our grains of infinity are 100% getting used up. But let's first have a look at this ice situation. So I had a glacial precipitator making snowballs. That's downstairs. I just switched that over to ice. And in fact, I'm just going to add a fluid solidifier recipe for this. So for that, we need crushed ice, which means I have to fluid extract some of this. That's easy enough to do. I can just hook this temporary machine up. And now we have infinite ice. Just put a drawer down, and we're done. Next up is the pink dye. Pink dye, the easiest way I can see to get this is combining white dye or bone meal and red dye. And we can get red dye from beetroot. And since we have spare phytogenic insulators, we might as well do this route and just grow the beetroot in our insulators. So I think what we'll do is convert one of these core. Oh yeah, we're at like hundreds of thousands of chorus. We don't need any more of this. Okay, now those are being disconnected, how do we actually get beetroot seeds? Are we going to have to go out and find some beetroot? We can't buy it or anything? Oh man. Alright, let's take a trip to the overworld then, I guess. Luckily I just checked this chest when I came through the portal, and look at that, we have beetroot seeds. So I ain't complaining at that. Let's take them and get out of here. And so that's beetroot taken care of. I've switched over the drawer as well. I just have to add the recipe now, I think, for red dye. Yeah, it's just a crafting recipe like this. And then we craft this with bone meal and we'll get pink dye. Wait, that's purple. Alright, what else then? Let's do this Gravistar next. So it's just molten neutronium and nether stars with an autoclave. So I'll get some autoclaves and we'll set up a processing array for this. LUV? Sure, let's do it LUV. 16 of these. Okay, that's our processing array in. Just need to hook it up here. And then add the autoclaves. I think they should be done by now. Yep. So there's some LUV autoclaves. I have the fluid input on the bottom there. We're going to need a fair amount of these, I think, because these are for the infinity catalysts. So yeah, there's Gravistars taken care of. Next up then, Grains of Infinity. What are we going to do about this? There is the Infinity Dust block, which we can get from microminers, so maybe it's worth setting this up. I'm trying to think if that's actually worth doing, or if we should just switch off our Grains of Infinity consumers just for now. Since we don't need that much, I don't think. Maybe let's just do that, and we'll switch off these gears, wherever they are. Yeah, this is our Grains of Infinity consumer here, so I'm going to switch this off just temporarily. Build up some grains so we can get our creative RF. Okay, so that just leaves the Chaos Shards, Grains of Infinity, Iron Dust. I don't really know why it wants Iron Dust. Plutonium 241 plates, we'll have to fluid solidify those. And then I think we're good to... Oh wait, yeah, Seeds and the Infinity Catalyst. Let's put in the recipe for the Infinity Catalyst. So the Infinity Catalyst is this recipe here. I know we're not going to have the Heart of the Universe. We need to launch another tier 10, which we'll have to set up. And I think we're missing a few recipes since I done that by hand the first time I sent the T10. But let's try and get the 4 generators first out of the way, and then we'll worry about the Infinity Catalyst after. So we want to get these 4 generators in the corner of the recipe. So if we request 4 of them, what are we missing? Still Chaos Shards. Yeah, this Iron Dust, why does it want Iron Dust? Luckily we have this neat feature in Applied Energistics where you can search for inputs. And it wants it for either Invar or Canthal. I know that we can fluid solidify the Invar or Canthal, but you know what, it's probably just easier just to add a recipe for Iron Dust, since we only need a couple hundred anyway. There. And I'll just put that in our macerator PA. It also wanted us to make seeds. I'm assuming it's for carrots. Although I don't know what carrots would be used for. Maybe one of the generators. That's probably what it is. So maybe I'll just add that to the insulators as well. Okay, there's seeds added again to our phytogenic insulators. And I'm also going to add plutonium 241 to our ever-growing wall of things to be fluid solidified. I believe that's for the fusion reactor Mark III. So now let's try and get all the chaos shards we need. So how many was it we were missing again? For the generators at least. We are missing 140 chaos shards. And we get what, 4 at a time? Okay, that is a lot of tier 8s. Holy. Maybe we won't be getting this generator today. Alright, how many tier 7s have we got? We got 6 tier 7s. We're going to need a whole lot more than that. Let's launch what we've got, and then for tier 8s, we have 9. But how many Chaos Guardian things do we have? Okay, so we can launch 17 tier 8s. Assuming we have enough dilithium, which I don't know if we will. Yeah, we're short some dilithium. So for dilithium, it was what, tier 1s that we need? Yeah, dilithium is from tier 1. So let's just see how many tier 1 microminers we can send. We have 436 crafted, so do we want to send all that though? Maybe it's worth just taking a detour and actually setting up our dedicated microverse projectors rather than sending hundreds through the temporary one. I don't think it'll take that long to set up, to be honest. And we will also set up probably drawers for the outputs so that we're not flooding our system with useless ores. Yeah, let's set up our microverse projector then for tier 1s to automatically launch them and then store the outputs in drawers. And let's also use array mode for this. I love this feature now that I have actually discovered it. Boom. That's wrong. Count of 5 it looks like. Okay, second time's a charm. There we go. And I was just one short because I crafted one too few of these projectors. Maybe we'll put the inputs on the back and output on the top and then have drawers above it for the outputs. Oh, turns out I'm actually building this wrong. It looks like the controller goes on the bottom block. And there's ineffable glass here. Okay, I got all the projectors built and I have to hook up the inputs and outputs now. So this needs a fluid input of rocket fuel, which we're just going to put on the bottom here. We'll just fill a creative tank with rocket fuel there, and that takes care of that. And then I've put a CEF for each one. I think I'm going to... Oops. I hope that didn't destroy it much down there. No, I think we're good. Yeah, put a CEF for each one. I think I'm going to run these at ZPM. Although, what is the time on these? 25 seconds at HV. If it's 25 seconds at HV, it means it's 0.45 seconds at ZPM and 0.15 at UV. You know what? Why not? Let's just run these at UV instead, actually. I mean, we have the power now anyway. Yeah, why not? Let's switch these all out for UV. And I better switch the CEFs as well. And then I think we'll run power up the wall here, where we can hide it with some facades like I done here. And then we can just run this all the way down to the floor and power all of the projectors that way from underneath. So as for the inputs, well, actually, let's deal with the outputs first. So I'm thinking we use a bunch of drawers. So if we put a drawer controller there, the output bus is going to be here, and then we can put drawers to store all of the ores. So there's 10 unique outputs, and I think only one of them we're actually going to need, which is the dilithium. Everything else can just get a void upgrade. There, so I'm thinking maybe we can put like a little shelf along here, or a trim of grey concrete, I mean. Something like that, and then we'll put the drawers above it. Maybe we'll run some black concrete up the sides, just to keep it all nice and neat here. I guess we need chests on passive as well. I don't think I'm auto-crafting chests, but we definitely have quantum flux, and we have the tier 1s, so we just need interfaces now, I think. So I was going to set up a whole complicated like input system, but then I remembered we can just level limit the controller instead to limit this, since I don't want this particular mission running like all the time anyway. I think there's the other tier 1 mission we want to do as well, for apatite and quartzite. So some of the tier 1s are going to be used for that. So yeah, I think we can just stick an interface and then put all of the inputs on this. And then we'll level limit the controller block itself from underneath. So it's that, and quantum flux. Oh, and it's already running. These drawers are already full, wow. Yeah, I just run the connection up here for the conduits, and it seems to have already run through, I don't know how many that was. Well, let's set the level emitter first of all. So we'll need a machine controller on the bottom side and a level emitter. And I think we'll level emit for, where is it, dilithium. Everything else we don't really care about for this mission itself. So hook up the conduit, and then should we level emit for ore, or should we level emit for the dilithium crystals itself? I think since there's some processing time, we're going to level emit the ore, emit when levels are above, yeah. I don't know if that's going to be a good number or not, but this, like as you saw, this mission is super fast, so we don't really need to buffer a whole lot of the ore. And then we'll void upgrade the rest of these drawers. Thinking about this now, maybe having all of these microverse projectors is a bit unnecessary, especially for like the tier 1s. But yeah, it's done now. Wait, why aren't you stopping? You have more than 10,000. Yeah, maybe it would help if I had the storage bus on there. That's not the first time I've done that, but yeah, it looks like we're up to what, 15,000 dilithium now? And it looks like we've used, what, 300-ish tier 1s already? So yeah, the storage bus is now on there. This dilithium should get processed, and it will automatically send more once we get back down to 5,000. Actually, you know what, on second thought, maybe we should level emit it for the crystals instead. Because otherwise, it's going to process all of this into crystals and then realize it's got no more dilithium, even though we have loads of crystals. So I'm going to actually change the level emitter to crystals itself, and I'll say 10,000. So with that now out of the way, let's try and launch our tier 8s. We have 9 crafted. Can we launch this now? We can. Okay, so that's going to give us a bunch of chaos shards. We're up to 36. And we can launch 14 more tier 8s. The fact that we've used all of our tier 8s now means that this should craft more automatically. Yeah, it looks like it's already crafted 1. Let's actually bump this up to like 20 of each of the tier 8s and tier 7s. Yeah, we'll do that. So this should now be crafting tier 8s. And this will be crafting tier 7s. If it has the resources. I guess the extract's just a little bit slow the first time up, when it starts. Yeah, now it's crafting. Okay. So now we're getting tier 8s, tier 7s. The tier 8s are running. I should really move this microverse projector over now. But I think I'll do that in between episodes. I'm going to clean the rest of this up in between episodes and probably move the assembly line as well. I just really want to get this creative RF source. So we should observe our chaos shards going up. Yeah, we're at 48 now. Let's switch back now and see what else we're missing for the generator. So for 4 generators, what are we still missing? Just emerald crystal blocks, and only 17 as well, so I'm going to just batch craft those. And now we are literally just missing the chaos shards for the generators. So I think we should move on to this infinity catalyst. And for this we're going to need a heart of the universe, obviously, which means we need a tier 9. Or yeah, a tier 9 and a tier 10. And I don't think I'm crafting this neutronium heavy plating. The way I'd done it before was just manually doing it. So let's set up a blast furnace for this. Although the trouble is though, where are we going to place this? Our blast furnace room is kind of full. Unless we just stack them. I was going to stack them, but then it's going to make the cables even uglier than this thing already is. So I'm actually just going to put it in that little space over there, I think, instead. Yeah, I think this is a bit better than what I was going to do with stacking them on top of each other. And if we need another one, we've got a space here. Just finish putting the facades... Oh, wrong one. Just finish putting the facades on this. I like to do this as I go, although sometimes I get a bit lazy with it. Like with facades and whatnot. Like, just so that it's not all left till the end, and we have, like, no base and a completed Omnifactory playthrough. What else was it we needed for tier 9s? I think all of this we have on-demand craft capabilities, so I wonder if we can craft a tier 9. Oh wait, that was a tier 10 I was looking at, wasn't it? Are we missing anything for the tier 10? Just the plating, I can deal with that. We just need to wait, basically. So yeah, I guess next tier 9. Can we make another tier 9? We just need the one for now. Quantum flux plating and neutronium frames. Oh yeah, I forgot about this other heavy plating. This one is also a blast furnace recipe, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it is, so I'll have to add another blast furnace. Let me do that and add also that other thing we're missing. So I added in the blast furnace for the plates as well as the neutronium frames we were missing. And I also kicked off the craft for a tier 9 and also a tier 10 microminer. So that's what's crafting up now. This is the tier 10, we're almost finished. Biggest bottleneck is the assembly lines, the on-demand ones. Those ones down there. So those are definitely going to have to be upgraded. And then also the tier 9 is being crafted. That's just waiting on another assembly line thing. I had a comment on the last episode as well about these fusion crafters. About a potential conflict with these pointing this way. Basically, if I'm not exactly sure about the range on these injectors, but it could potentially mess with this fusion crafter if this was also going off. Although I haven't had that happen yet, so I'm going to keep an eye on that, but if that does turn out to be the case, we might have to block this with something. But it seems to be working okay just now, so I'm going to leave it as long as it's not messing anything up. And nothing's been stuck yet, so we seem to be okay. So yeah, we're just waiting on the tier 9 and 10, and I think we'll just launch those manually for now. And then what I'll do is, in between episodes, I'll set up the other microverse projectors to launch those other microminers. And then after that, it's just a case of collecting enough chaos shards, I believe. I think we now have everything we need for the... Yeah, 128 chaos shards. I did launch some more tier 7 and 8s, but yeah, I'm going to have to launch about double that. That shouldn't be an issue though, it'll just take a little bit of time for it to be sent. But yeah, everything else here looks good to go, as long as it doesn't get stuck anyway. Oh wait, I forgot about this eternal catalyst. These are used in the infinity catalyst, looks like. So we need a fair number of these, but for example, all of these gears we are fluid solidifying. I don't know why I still have these pinned. I think it's to pick up the gears for the quest. But yeah, all of these outside pieces were all fluid solidifying, including the motes of omnium, so that's easy. The ender stars I think we have on passive already. Let's just double check. Okay, we don't. I think maybe I had that down at the old base and I took it down. I just haven't replaced it yet, but that's easy enough. That's just a chemical reactor recipe. So that might actually end up in a processing array though. I'll probably add a processing array for that. The ender star we're passively crafting, I know that. Yeah, we have a full drawer of those. The quantum stars, likewise, I think we're also... Yeah, we've got a full drawer. And gravity stars, we have those as well. And then the ultimate material. All of the deep mob learning is set up for this. I don't know if it'll be sufficient for the amount of ultimate materials we need. But we do definitely have the recipe for this on demand. Or maybe not. Maybe it looks like I took it out, but I know that we do have all the ingredients for this craft. You know what, let's just pick up these gears for the quest at the moment. Just to get them. We haven't had any quest things in a few episodes, so it's about time we're due a few. While we're waiting on the tier 9 and 10 crafting, I'm going to also drop in the rest of the recipes for the Eternal Catalyst. And then I'll send some more tier 7 and 8s, gather up all the Chaos Shards. And then yeah, we'll be back to craft the Creative RF, hopefully. I don't think it'll take that long, maybe like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Okay, this is it. The 4th generator just finished. This is Creative RF. I hope. Assuming nothing gets stuck. So yeah, let's just kick this off. I don't think this step will take too long since we have the 4 generators already started. And I also already made 2 of the reactor cores. So yeah, it's just a lot of crafting, like regular 3x3 crafting recipes. Oh, actually, I think there's a quest for this as well, isn't there? For this Creative RF. Oh yeah, there is. And we don't even have the prerequisites. I wonder, can we make... We must be able to make an extra chaotic core at least. Just to hold it. And what else was it I wanted? Eternal Catalyst and Infinity Catalyst. I think we're going to have to hold off on this because this takes another Heart of the Universe. And we definitely cannot make another Heart of the Universe just yet. So we'll have to hold out on the quests. But yeah, this at least should be our second creative item. A little bit more awakened cores to go. Wow, this means that after this is crafted, this means that I can take all of this down now. All of these reactors can come down. In fact, we're probably going to start with that next time. This whole base is going to get ripped up. And that's going to be so good to get that out of the way. And then we'll put our RF source, well, I'm not sure exactly where, but there's going to be energy phantom faces to extract maximum amounts of energy out of one block. But this episode's running really long here, and I really need to get this out. I've got like very limited time to play today. So I kind of wish I had invested in those assembly lines earlier on to make that faster, because the majority of those crafts I was waiting on was these things. Yeah, there's the extra chaotic core though for the quest, hopefully. Oh, it wants 4 even. Oh well. Okay, here we go. Last 2 crafts of the chaotic cores. Making our Infinity Catalyst. This is it. For real this time. One of these tables somewhere. Any minute now, come on. This is taking longer than I expected. I think it might be stuck. Where though, I have no idea. Where is this thing? Oh, it's in this one. And it's for some reason not sending the craft. I don't know. Should I cancel it? Maybe. Okay, let's cancel this. And get our package back. Oh, I guess this will give us a quest as well. Nice, that's convenient. I have no idea why that got stuck. Maybe I'll just craft it by hand. I'll sort it out another time, I think. But I'm just gonna... Wait, while we're here, we might as well get the quest. Yeah, Infinity Catalyst. There's a quest for that. Let's request our RF source again. There we go, it should craft. And it's done. Oh man. Here we go. Creative RF, their second creative item. We did it. Oh, wow. This is definitely a milestone, but we've still got a ways to go. There's still a number of creative items to make yet. The most challenging is yet to come, so stay tuned for that, but that's all I've got time for today. This took a lot longer than I expected it to. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for some more Omnifactory.